Hello everyone, my name is Tahukan. As of now, I've seen John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum twice in IMAX. I don't generally see movies in IMAX, but this one was worth it. John Wick stands out because again and again it doesn't fail to disappoint in presenting a world that feels lived in, fights that feel risky even though we know the protagonist is constantly unkillable, he killed people for goddamn pencil, and shots that are eye candy to anyone no matter how little or much you care about movies. John Wick in many ways is a great launching off point to show great cinematography mixed into a really accessible story and genre of film. Because of the way John Wick is, each movie leading into the next, I'm not going to do separate categories for everything as I often do. Instead, I'm going to do the good and the bad. So, let's focus on the good. All that was good in John Wick 2 is back and in even more force. And the first part in particular is fucking amazing, and none after fail to disappoint either. That's all due to the fantastic stunt doubles, and in several cases, the actual actors who did their own stunts. In particular, Boban Marjanovic. He's a fucking giant. I think he's like 7'6". Hey, look at him. Look at those hands. Fucking massive man. And then Mark Dacascos, I'm hoping I'm saying that right, and Keanu Reeves, all of them blew it out of the water. It's a very different feel when you watch a movie and you can tell it's the actor doing it in the majority of the scenes. There's no real clever cuts where they separate one from another. It's just the same person. It also helps because they don't have to, make it kind of blurry so you can't realize, hey, that's not them. That's the wrong face. Same as in the previous films, Parabellum introduces a new set of assassins for John to square off against and allies to aid him. While being just as good as in John Wick 2, there's a distinctly different feel in Parabellum. The fighting techniques in Parabellum and weapons feel a lot less gunny, with the first gunfight not even being shown until about 20 to 25 minutes in, and generally resorting back to physical techniques and close combat maneuvers, even bladed weapons throughout large stretches of the film. The aesthetic and shots of the movie are also worth praising. It fits with what you expect while still distinctly standing out as its own compared to the other two movies. The whole movie feels that way, both the same and not the same at the same time. And then the least contributing part of John Wick 3's punch is the story. Picking up roughly 40 minutes after John Wick 2, Parabellum continues the further deepening plot and world and continues popping off throughout the first and second act, but unfortunately that's where the problems start to come up. So here's the bad. The third act of John Wick 3 is a slog. It's slow, it's meandering. By the time you reach it, you can immediately tell you're reaching the end of the movie. All of the speed and urgency is just gone. Any sense of it is replaced with a setup for a sequel, and that's the biggest problem with John Wick 3. You follow the plot, and sure, it's a bit less gripping than, say, John Wick 1 or John Wick 2, but it's still good, and then you get to the third act, and the follow-through just isn't really there. Now, with the way the movie is, it works. It feels very much like a bridge, and I believe that's what they intended for it to be, considering they announced John Wick 4 2 days after John Wick 3 came out. I'm not sure. I think they may have even announced it right as I was leaving the theater. Other than that, the movie was generally fine, but this one thing just completely throws you off your feet. It just knocks all the air out of your chest as you realize, shit, this is how it's going to end, isn't it? And it's not unfulfilling, and it's probably going to be fine for you with what you expect. But for me, I still enjoyed it a lot. I saw it twice, but this was a very defining issue the movie has in it. It's a damn good movie. The flaw just really damages it. It feels less like its own movie, despite its distinct visuals and fights separating so much. It just feels like some sort of filler, as if this could be just a prologue to the fourth. In conclusion, John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum is a good movie, an incredibly well-made and well-acted movie with a fantastic cast of Keanu Reeves, Ian McShane, Lance Reddick, Asia Kate Dillon, and Mark Dacascos. But the third act is a severe blow to what would otherwise be a masterpiece in my opinion. I give John Wick 3 a 9 out of 10. It's stunning, unique, distinct, action-packed, gory, suspenseful, but misses the mark on that ending, and that hurts it far more than it should. It's a setup to a fourth movie that I have complete faith will be the best, but for now, this is what we have, and for now, this is merely a prologue to something we have to hope will be great. It will be great, because this was, in fairness, great for the first two acts, but they wanted this to be a setup. And generally speaking, I'm not going to give you a pass just because that was the intention of a movie. If you guys have seen John Wick 3 already, I'm imagining most of you are here wanting to hear my take on it, less so than knowing if you should see it or not. Please let me know what you've thought of it. I'd love to hear as many thoughts or as little thoughts as you have on the movie. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, and make sure to follow me on Twitch for daily streams. If you're interested in joining the conversation more in depth, you can check out my Discord server and if you'd like to help support me and the channel, you can purchase my merch in the link in the description, or support me on Patreon, which huge help. Thank you to everyone who does currently support me. I'll probably be rolling out a new tier soon to choose a line I say or something to that effect. I'm still trying to figure out what it is. Tell me if you think that would be something you'd be interested in, and I'll take that into account. So, thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Huge thank you to Patreon supporters Anonymous and Matt Porter. I truly appreciate it.